Hey, everybody. Michelle is here. Michelle is here on 12/12/2024 on a Thursday. 12/12/2024 on a Thursday. And I know a lot of people are into numbers and they kind of base a lot of their theories and opinions on numbers. A lot of people that are into numerology, as it's called. And we like to see the kind of significance in numbers, which are important. I'm going to be really honest with you. They're really important, but unfortunately, due to our complacency and negligence in reference to evolving our consciousness, those formulas have lost meaning. Meaning, they lost meaning. They had some value centuries ago. However, now, I would say since the 1600s, with our population explosion starting and such, as well as our climate destruction starting with the first hurricane, starting with the first earthquake, we've kind of caused those calculations and probabilities of what could be happening, what could be predicted to be have gone haywire. It's no longer relevant. And also the situation with our planet. Our planet has shifted in certain ways, whereas over time, north is no longer north and south is no longer south. We've had pole shifts, blah, 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 blah. All that rambling to say there's a calculating reason as to why we are where we are now. It was calculated thousands of years ago, centuries ago, millennia ago, where we would end up and how we would be behaving and acting. In other words, it was probable. And so therefore, that's why we had certain type of messengers come through to attempt to wake us up. And these messengers were human beings. They were genuine, bona fide human beings like you and I. They were not supernatural. They were not holograms. They were not this or that or the other. They were human beings in a true sense. But yet, unfortunately, a lot of the messengers, a lot of the so-called heroes or whatnot, and some people call them prophets, were ignored, were tampered with, were invaded, and some of them were murdered. Okay? So, as time goes by, a lot of people are going to realize exactly what happened and why there is a lot of reason to be, absolutely concerned, but also a reason to, decide how you want to carry forth in your life, what type of paths you want to necessarily take. What do you want to spend your time on cultivating and contemplating? Okay? I say evolution of the consciousness because once you evolve your consciousness, you will have the tools, skills, and abilities to get through this unscathed. Okay? And that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with magic, as I said, supernatural. Everything's going to appear magical. It's going to appear wonderful and magnificent as well once you understand the factors of who we are, what we are, and why we are. That's why I invest my time. I was just having a meeting with someone, and we were discussing things as to how I'm going to, get my message out. I just looking. I talked to several people about strategies because it is about that. No matter what anyone says, okay, the market of people wanting to help is saturated. Okay, it's saturated, is contaminated more so than anything else. I was listening to some people talking the other day as well, and it's obvious that some people just do not want to get out of the way. They don't want to share, even though they claim they are sharing. They're not sharing. Okay, they're that fortified type of energy of people who believe that if it's not coming from them, if the information is not coming from them and who they recommend, then you know. And the thing about these type of people is, yes, they've saturated the market with people who think like them. Okay, they've saturated, they are competing against each other, because a lot of people that are, a lot of these so-called hierarchical, gosh, I don't know what they call themselves, influencers, celebrities, managers, politicians, they have saturated the market with people competing against each other who work with them, who work with each other. They're creating this false sense of competition among themselves, but they're a part of it. It's like they're taking up the market, but they don't want it to seem as though it's a monopoly. But it is. It's a monopoly. But they give the illusion that they have this friendly competition going on. And so at some point, due to greed and due to mismanagement, then they'll start to try to bring, they'll bring it all together. Even though, like I said, they all own everything. They own, these so-called social media platforms. They own all of the internet. They own and most of them are attempting to own the artificial intelligence technology or the quantum computing technology. Like I said, it's held by a certain hidden hands of people who create this false narrative of competition when they own everything. And so we as individuals are attempting to get ourselves through there, and we can. With my help, you can. Okay? And others who are participating in a certain different paradigm, a certain different strategy of how to, help people. And again, once you evolve your consciousness, you're untouchable. You're going to be invaded. You're going to be interfered with. People are going to do this or that and the other. The criminal energy is going to always be there, because it requires a collective of us to disseminate it and bring ourselves back together properly. But most people are not going to do that, because religion is part of it. Like I said, that criminal energy of religion, I should say. Politicians, influencers, celebrity. It's a pattern of people keeping that encasement of negative, keeping that encasement of criminal energy going. So anyway, I was listening to some people talking the other day, and even though there's a lot of manipulation and deception going on, I can see through a lot of that and get to the core of that person saying things, or I can usually get to the as they say, the meat of the matter, and understand what someone is attempting to do. That's why I say you need to be kind and gentle, even with people you disagree with. You need to be kind and gentle, even with people that you consider your enemies. There's an intention to keep us going back and forth against each other, because it's energy, number one, and then it generates a certain level of income for people. It generates a certain level of lifestyles for people, because if we all got along, it will crash the capitalistic mentality. It will crash this whole beliefs about prosperity, and it all of that will collapse. And a lot of people are just not ready for it. A lot of people are not ready for the collapse, because they are not prepared. It just will all collapse, and then a lot of people are not going to be able to manage themselves, number one, and they're not going to know what the hell to do. And so the first thing they're going to do, of course, is everybody's going to panic. And then once people start panicking, and then it just causes a lot of chaos and destruction. So I'm doing this series on, as I told you, these videos I'm doing are like guides. They're like guides. Some bits and pieces of information in breadcrumb style that helps to activate the consciousness, for those that are ready. And then it helps you to kind of navigate through things taking different steps walking differently, thinking differently, literally, figuratively, and metaphorically. And then you're gonna, it's just gonna open up so many avenues to you that you didn't know they exist, and they were intentionally hidden from you, and they intentionally still do. Unfortunately, so many things are being hidden from us, but a lot of people are allowing that to happen because we don't want to stretch our imagination into something concrete and general and something that's palatable. Is that the word I want to use? Yeah. So let's see. That's the word I want to use. Tangible, I guess. Something that is capable of being handled. Materialized. You could say that, being materialized. Perceptible is what they have here, is something similar. Perceivable, okay. Discernible, okay, I like that. So it says perception means something that can be seen, held, noticed, recognized, noticeable. Yes. Concrete, reality, a real reality. So again, I was listening to this person speak, and I've known about this person for decades upon decades upon decades. They're part of the pioneering force of that wave of influential types, trailblazers possibly, and everything that I'm saying can be positive or negative though. It can be a negative trailblazer or a positive trailblazer. And of course, that's materialized, that word. They set the path for people. And I said it's good, bad, and otherwise. They kind of open up things. But at the same time, it has caused a lot of confusion. It caused a lot of indoctrination, manipulation, and deception, unfortunately, as well. And because of the size of our population, we're unable to easily penetrate through that. We have billions upon billions of people on this planet. This planet was only developed to handle 500 million people, believe it or not. Do the numbers. Okay, we have almost 10 billion people on this planet, not to mention their toys, their equipment, their materialism. But this planet was only made to hold 500 million people, along with the animals, the flora, and the fauna, and everything else to keep this planet functioning properly. So look at the big picture. 10 billion versus 500 million. What do you think is going to happen? Do the numbers, do the math, figure it out on your own. Look for something tangible about that. And so I brought up something that I said about energy. The energy of our thoughts is what's causing all of the massiveness of confusion, manipulation, and deception. Our physicalness is what's destroying the planet, not our supernatural beliefs, not our beliefs in general, but at the same time, our beliefs play a role. All of these conceptions of things play a role. All of our conceptions of supernatural, all of our conceptions of beliefs, all of our conceptions of religion, all of those factors play a role into why we are where we are on the stage of destruction. Okay, we're on the stage of destruction. Where are we going to put 9 billion people? Where are 9 billion people going to go? If we drill this planet down to what it's supposed to hold, which is 500 million, but let's say 1 billion, what are we going to do with the 9 billion other people? Do the math. Okay. And so I heard someone say that a lot of people are talking about certain things out there about our situation, whether it's about our current realities or whatever, right? And I'm being real honest, I love listening to people, whether they are considered enemy sources or not, whether they're considered negative forces or not. I enjoy listening to people, and I suggest we all do that. Just listen to the content that people are putting out and see how you can sort of hear what you hear, but not, and see if you can kind of swirl around what you're hearing from them. See if you can swirl around in your thoughts about what they're actually saying to you. See if you can discern, see if you can apply some metaphors, parables to what people are saying to you. It's going to require just a little bit of a mixing of certain kind of realities of things, and say, okay, what is this person actually saying here? So I'm going to go ahead and give you that to play with, and I'll come back and talk some more about what I'm doing, how I'm making my impact with these series of videos, which are a series of guidance videos. I'm not looking for followers necessarily, and I'm not looking for likes and such, because I want to protect your privacy, and I want to protect your sacredness. I want you to return back to what it means to be a genuine human being in the true sense. And you have to do it whereas no one has to know. So this is going to be part 9, pitfalls or interpersonal relationships. And I'm going to say, I'm going to send peace and love for now, but trust me, I will be back.